9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 Welcome to this week's What the Heck.
Hello.
Sweet. All right. Cool. We can't hear Kyle though, so I'm just going to
We're
interpret
working
whatever
on
Kyle
it.
says.
We'll tell you when we can hear you, Kyle. But right now,
We can't hear you at all. You might try just opening the link in a different browser. Uh,
oh yeah,
Chrome is
sometimes
usually the
that'll do it.
best, but not always.
Yeah, yes.
We have Isaac and Kyle, and what's up, DJ MJR and Woke Ars
Hey.
Messiah, and whoever else is watching. Yeah, welcome. Goodbye,
Oh,
Kyle.
we've
Miss
lost
you.
Kyle for a second. It's okay.
What's up, Iggs? Um,
Um,
Biggs, you better get your stuff. Get that battery so you can do the marching banduary. Wait, no, marching band. I don't know.
yeah,
Marching band.
something.
Hello.
There we
Hello.
go.
Hello.
We can hear you
Oh,
now.
you're so
Yes.
Yes.
loud. You're
Oh,
so loud.
sorry.
No, you're
Hello.
perfect.
Okay. Yeah, I
Awesome.
think it's just Safari doesn't work.
Ah,
Yeah, that sounds right. As much as it pains me, Chrome is definitely the best performance for this stupid application. So Safari is my go-to normally. Anyway, who are
Mac
you
user.
and what browser do you use?
Hi, my name is Isaac. I like to use Google Chrome because I already have everything working in Google Chrome and I haven't bothered to switch. I have been considering Firefox, but also Chrome has all my stuff in it anyways, so I kind of don't want to.
Kyle, you're up.
Yo, Kyle, work at Signal Sounds. I use Safari for everything, unless it's like web MIDI stuff or something weird, because it doesn't do that. But who uses web MIDI?
Yep, I am the same as Kyle. Well, I also am Kyle, and I work at Signal Sounds. That's not true. But I do use Safari and pretty much use it for everything. I also use Firefox when I have to for development because Safari's dev tools are uh, frustrating sometimes. And I'm not really particularly passionate about any browser because you can export to all of them. So, yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I just have been falling down this afternoon. Speaking of development, I have been trying to teach myself how to make a website because that was what today Hyperfocus decided. And I did, in fact, make a bare bones website on neocities.org with the use of MKDocs, and it is weird, but it works, I guess.
You got it first try. That's like pretty sick from zero to website in one
Took me
day. I
like
don't know.
3 hours. Um,
that's
a lot of fiddling.
that's just a tiny amount of time on the scale of building a website. You did it good. You did fine.
Fair enough.
Can I turn the guests up? Yeah,
I
I'll.
think Kyle is a little. You turned
I
Kyle down, but
I can be louder.
Kyle, no, you sound perfect, Kyle.
Okay.
I don't know
I just
what
have to hold. I have to hold the mic here the whole time.
Isaac, you're as cranked as I can crank it.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
can get a little closer.
Yeah, if you lean way in, tell us
Just
some
lean
secrets.
forward. Hi. Yes.
All right. What was I gonna say? Something about modules.
Something about modules. Isn't it always something about modules?
Oh, hold on.
Oh.
Go ahead and I'll be right back.
I guess I finished. I don't know. I finished a hackathon today.
Was that finished?
Design
Oh yeah, it's
hackathon.
Friday.
Yeah, it was
Oh
today.
no,
Yeah,
it's not. It's Thursday today.
No, it finishes Thursday. It was only 4 days long for some reason.
Right.
The time restriction was actually really, really limiting because basically they say that he was like the first day is just for concepts, and then you only have the second and third day to prototype, and then the third day they like stop working on the prototype, instead just document stuff and like film
Right.
and all that. And so
I mean, that is the point of a hackathon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just would have been nice if we had like one extra day on the prototype, because everything ended up sounding glitchy and weird. It was really like good in like a good way, but like definitely not like what we intended it to be. Um, but yeah, we made this.
I think you just
installation.
described the design of every module.
Yeah.
Glitchy and horrible, but still cool. Yeah, so the installation we made was this big thing that hung from a like we had like a big mic stand, and hanging from it just had like suspended by its own audio cables was essentially just like a black guitar pedal box with a daisy inside and a motion sensor. And so you'd swing it around on the arm, and the motion sensor would change like pitch shifter parameters, and we'd run like a microphone into it and some big speakers in the big Glasgow Uni cloisters, and it made some weird, cool noises. And yeah, that was neat. So that's been my synth theme of the week.
Was there a brief for that hackathon?
Yes.
Or is it just like do stuff?
Yeah, what's
It was very vague. It was like digital in nature. So it was like stuff about like liminal spaces, or a reclaimed artifact, or a coexistence with your habitat. And so I guess conceptually the idea is it's sort of like you're physically interacting with it, and once you kind of send it out, it's like physics are swinging it around the in a circle, and that's making the sound do weird stuff. And we were putting like field recordings into it and all that, and it was recording that. So I don't know. It was a very vague brief, but I think we did it.
That's a pretty good brief. Like usually the briefs that I've seen in hackathons are like, this hackathon sponsored by Woggle Dinger, like use our Woggle Dinger API to make the world a better place, like you have 9 hours, go.
I've done a few sponsored by Red Bull, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
It's free Red Bull, and they don't care.
My dad was once on a shoot that was sponsored by Red Bull, and they had unlimited free Red Bull, and he had like one can of it. He had one can of it, and he was just like, he just hates Red Bull, so he just didn't end up having. They just had cases and cases of it bringing in. Which is like, oh, too much.
Having tried Red Bull, I wouldn't recommend the flavor to anyone unless you are getting sleepy and need to drive. And even then, just take a nap if you can do that.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever actually tried any of the kind of big major energy drinks. I get too, even coffee kind of makes me too jittery. So I feel like having a Monster Energy or something would completely destroy me.
Yeah. Yes. I've done hackathons in the past, and they're pretty fun. I usually have a good time, especially if there's a little bit of booze involved. But also I'm usually the friend-endy person and designer person. So I get to have a lot of fun and drink, and if my code doesn't run, it's I fix a build process and then it's good to go. It's CSS and JavaScript and HTML. It's fine. Whereas everybody else has to pull an all-nighter to make I don't know, a thing that tells you optimal bike paths in a city, shit like that. Whatever.
Oh God, yeah.
Anyway, let's get back to modular.
Back to modular. That this podcast is about.
I had a big week for new modules. For my year of no new purchases, I still have not purchased any, but I got 5 modules this week.
What?
Nice.
Well,
free.
None of them were free. 3 were WMD modules that I purchased last year sometime.
Nice.
When they announced they're going out of that sale. One of them was a trade, which I'm not sure if that counts or not, but I was they're equal value, they're Endeavor, quick swap. pretty good. And then one was somebody just lent me a module, so that's not a purchase, right? Speed Racer sent me these lob
Ooh.
filter bank, which I
Oh
am
my god, look at the.
super stoked about. But like, look at this thing.
Oh,
Um,
that's incredible. It's so chunky on the back too. Wait, what is the
right, I'm
back
gonna
look
show
like?
the back. That's the reason I brought it out is because like,
Holy shit. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Zlob,
like
dude. Oh
like
fuck.
this
Oh
is
wait, I have a
sick.
Zlob module laying around here somewhere.
Is
And
that four of the
right in
same? Is it four of the
there,
same circuit board?
no, they're
I have
all
a
a little
Zlob
bit
They're
toolbox right
different.
all
here.
So,
okay.
well, I would say three of them are identical. Yeah, these three here are identical that I can
Okay.
tell.
And then the
And this
last
one
one's here.
here is a little bit different because that's where the power connector is.
It's
Even
six
though they're
band though, right? It's isn't
yes,
it so it's six channels, so maybe it's two per board and then the last one's like the control thing for
yeah,
all
I'm
of them.
not. I'm gonna have to take a closer look. I've only briefly looked at it, just enough to
That's
get an idea
intense
what's
though.
going on. But I like that they have like an expander connector, like dead center in the middle. That I don't even know how you would like plug that in
Impossible to
safely.
plug into.
And it says like this is not power.
Oh
Anyway,
wow.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's great. Um
They,
I I did not. Well, I am down one extra mod. No, I had a squid sample just for this last month that Kyle had lent to me from Signal because I needed something for my set. And playing with that, I kind of want to buy a squid sample now. Probably not a good idea. And then I
just try it
ordered.
a
I
little
had
bit. Just try
just
it
trying to
once.
like
You'll just
just a
see
bit.
how it is.
I did
Drug dealer.
also make a thonk order that's getting here tomorrow, but not for a kit. So thonk is running in line with the whole like mutable going out of business, the most extended going out of business of all time. Uh, all of her, she sent off a bunch of original panels and parts, spare parts that she had to thonk, and so I picked up an original ears panel and an original streams panel because I really wanted a streams and like they're kind weirdly rare because I don't think they sold very well and they got discontinued pretty early, and so I got an original streams panel and so I should be able to have that, which will take my mutable collection to 6 modules if I end up building them all, which will
I
be
mean, that's wild, right? Can
nice.
we talk about this sale? Like,
Oh gosh, yes.
when you're such a successful module manufacturer that like you can just like give people like your extra shit and they'll sell it pretty quick. Like that's pretty boss.
I checked out like I think someone sent the link or maybe I just refreshed it. Like the very first time, and I'm kind of obsessive with Thonk. I refresh Thonk like twice a day, and I remember I checked it and like I checked it and warps, rings, veils, plats were already completely sold
Yeah,
out
they
of
went quick.
panels. They went fast, and I think many more or blades as well. All the blades panels are gone, which is understandable because
Yeah.
for some reason that module is. I think it's just because it had the shortest run, so it is by technicality the rarest one, and so people are going nuts over it. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Responding to enthusiastic electrons, he's back in time. We're talking about the filter bank. Yeah, like this is not necessarily module I would love to build. Like actually, it's not too bad looking at the density of it. Like there aren't any like it's all through hole as far as I can tell. So you could do it.
Yeah.
But troubleshooting something of this density would be kind of
Are
painful, I
those
think.
boards direct to the panel, or can they be pulled off, or are they
No, they're
just?
actually mounted via headers. Like I don't know if you can
But
see
they're
them.
like
Just
hard. They're hard connected in. You can't pull them off, can you?
no, they are connected
Oh,
via
you
these
can't.
like the pin headers
Oh,
and
okay, that's good.
sockets.
That's good at
Yeah,
least.
yeah. So you can pull them off one at a time and troubleshoot them one at a time, probably. Um,
Yeah.
but
And
because
I
it's
like
through hole, if you use like an excessive amount of solder and like make sure you don't have uh,
shorts.
any shorts or anything backwards, it should just work.
I actually the one Zlob module I have, which I kind of hate, is the dual VCA. And I remember with this, it's a 2 HP VCA, right?
Oh my gosh.
And so they're like, you cannot use any sockets because if you don't use sockets, then the ICs will be too tall and it will take up more than 2 HP. And even now, even like the capacitors are just a little bit over that. You have to like bend the trim pots back and shit. So there's definitely a level of like jank in
Mm.
slob stuff. I feel.
Yeah.
Um, but it is
It's not
cool.
just slob. Like the God Eater module I installed yesterday was like pretty tricky to get in the case because kind of like this braids on the back where the connector is like right on the
Oh
edge,
yeah.
and the actually this actually goes the PCB is a little bit narrower than the panel. The God Eater, the PCB is exactly the same width as the panel. Plus, I think that actually the connector goes off at an angle, so it's like tricky to. I had to like take
It's
out other
so annoying.
modules to like you know put back
I
in.
have a I have a dup for LFO that does that where the dup for LFO has it where it's got like this connector that connects the jack board to the rest of it, and like the little connector has a little bump on the side where it makes it take up more than 8 HP. If you can't put something next to it if it has a circuit board that would knock up against it, which is always just so annoying. It's
Well, I
really
had like
annoying.
the perfect storm because I have the God Eater with the ribbon cable side right next to a 2 HP module, which, as you know, are not like they stick out a little bit too. So they're like, there's like a little gap between the bottom of them where they just can't go together.
Yeah, it happens. It happens.
Yeah. As long as they're not shorting, I'm happy.
Yeah.
And they're not. It's
My
fine.
my main case is actually kind of not that put together at the moment. So I did get my little one, the little box. I think I did a stream with this recently. But just the little tiny 3D printed
Yeah.
box,
Yeah.
which
That
is a
one's
lot of
cool.
fun. Where it's got like modules on the sides.
I know.
So
I love that. Is that the
um,
same 3D
it
print pattern that Bartok used or similar?
yes, this is the very same one that B Bartok used that I recommended to him. I really like this pattern though. This one is actually starting to fall apart. I need to print a new one. I'd like to print one that's a little thinner because this one's kind of you can see the benchy like where my
Yeah.
benchy was like
Nice.
burned into the bottom from my horrible bed because like the very first layer was just like two slowdowns or just like dragged it through the bottom.
Yeah. But
Um,
like 3D printed case those, they're so cheap to make that
yeah,
like
you might as well.
yeah.
I do want to make one that's like really thin, like ones that'll only fit like one PCB modules, just so you could just have like a tiny, tiny little portable case, um, which I think would be kind of appealing to have, especially if it's like a little longer than that, like 60 HP, but like very skinny,
Yeah.
um, like the
The idea
pads.
of a little portable case is appealing to me at
Mm-hmm,
this
mm-hmm.
point. Probably won't happen because I think that I'm going to count like buying a case as like a module purchase if I did
Yeah.
that.
Well,
Not
that's
a
why you build it
module, but
yourself, dude. You gotta
I am going to build a case. I am going to build another single row, like the one that's above my head for Cosmo, and maybe
mm,
another single row below. We'll see. I'm probably also going to build a nice little adapter for this to Cosmo so that I can try it
yeah.
out nicely. Because this is not mine. I can't just like set it on my bench and leave it plugged in to take care of it.
Stupid taking care of our things.
Yeah, no, no, it's fine. Um,
No massive pile of modules like what is directly to the left of me.
I don't. I have some, but it's not too bad.
I
Um,
did have. I also got my most exciting recent acquisition was this guy, which is a really weird module that I am obsessed with for some reason. It's just an ADSR called Slopes, and it's a noise reap module. Who did recently go out of business, but I just really love the yellow panel on it, and
it's
so I was
cool.
yeah. But it was a weird story with this because I was looking for it for a really long time because it was discontinued by the time I had wanted one, and I noticed a guy on Reddit who who had one in his case, and I was like, it's a long shot, but I commented on in his post, and I was like, hey dude, would you be willing to like can I buy the slopes off you or something? And he was like, I actually have an extra I'm not using that I could just send to you. And so like I thought it was a scam initially, so I was like, "Can you send me a picture of your username next to the module and stuff?" And so he actually did, and he just explained that he all he wanted was like some like Glasgow synth merch, and so I sent him a scarf from Rubadub, and because Signal Sounds doesn't have shirts, um,
I mean, I
and
love the trades. Like, I love some trades. Like, I'll probably when I send this module back send Speed Racer Jason in the chat some cables or some random shit. You know.
trades are fun. You know, it's nice just giving people things, exchanging. Um, But yeah, I really love this ADSR. It's a great ADSR. It's kind of big, but like it's got a VCA in it, so it like kind of makes up
Oh,
for
that's
it.
cool.
And it's
That's
got
cool.
also these are like the absolutely the heaviest faders. They're huge. They're like massive,
Oh, those are like
massive
full size
faders.
faders, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they have so much weight to them. Like the entire thing is like hold it by the
Yeah, what is
fader.
this
Yeah.
using? These are using these tiny faders. That's cool.
Those are yeah. Those are like the ones that kind of 4MS mutable uses. I don't think I've ever seen anything with like big chunky faders like this though. And I like them a lot.
Well, that's a
Um,
good idea. I should print a bunch of heck hats and like if people lend me
yes,
stuff, they
I
get a
want a
heck
heck
hat.
beanie. I want a heck beanie.
um, yeah, so that's I'm really looking forward to that module, but I'm not going to touch it till probably next Wednesday at the earliest because I'm playing a Mardi Gras thing on Tuesday.
Oh, nice.
Um, hour and a half, so I have to like
Oh,
just play all the like reruns, you know.
All the classics, the hits.
The classics. Yeah, I'll do the best of um, in a really long Mega Drone set. I don't know. Um, it's funny because it was like it's a DJ event, right? Where they're having like a big party, and they're like, "What time slots work for you?" And I'm like, between here and here. But they booked everybody for an hour and a half, and I was like, "Whoa,
That's a long time to
I
yeah.
have like 20 minutes of D&B total."
play. Yeah, jeez.
So
Yeah.
figure it out.
Hour and a half is a long time for a set.
I'll be like, all right, put me in your headphones and go walk your dog and come back in an hour. I don't know.
Yeah. It depends what is expected of the set, right? If it's like really basic techno and people are actually dancing to it in a club, that's not too bad. If people
No,
are
no.
in block, like listening to you for an hour and a half, that's really hard.
That's stressful. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But I would say that's ill advised to try and do that. Like,
No.
just don't.
I
Yeah.
think that's ambient's good for that. Just kind of doing like, just you can do an ambient set for an hour and a half, easy peasy.
Yeah, but no one enjoys that though.
I mean,
Let's
it's nice if people aren't like active listeners. If you're just like
Yeah.
in a space. If you're playing ambient music for the purposes designed for it to be ambient noise,
Yeah,
then like it's
sure.
fine. But
Right, like okay, if I play at a museum, I'll play some ambient, right?
Yeah.
Like for an art gallery opening or something, sure.
Yeah.
But like for if I'm at a nightclub, like
if you're
Yeah,
at a
so
nightclub, you
it's
should
gonna be four to the floor, you know, like
yeah. No, definitely. I guess it's just about getting stuff queued up in advance, which that's kind of then
Yeah.
getting into sort of DJing at that point. It's less like live performance and more like DJing because you can kind of
Yeah.
go longer with that.
that's actually why like it's not that I've become less inspired or interested in like creative scales and stuff, but like my last like 50 jams have all been in like that same C scale I use so that like I can mix stuff together pretty nicely for a long time.
Dude,
Yeah.
I never go outside of like E flat or like C minor, basically E flat.
Yeah, yeah.
Pentatonic. I kind of just stick in that mode most of the time.
I mean, like some of the things that I have, I'm just not gonna futz with. Like I've got like the Mega Drone song I like is in like uh, F flat or something, like um, F minor. Like it's a interesting scale, but I'm starting with a mega drone, so you have like a reset there, like like a
Like a
blank page at the front of the book, to like get you. Anyway, it's like a nice reset because I go from like completely detuned crap to yeah.
you also get it.
Yeah.
I feel like you get attention with that. It's like big and blaring, and then it kind of zooms into something laser focused. Um, it's a nice
Yeah,
effect.
F flat isn't a thing, right? That's like not a real key.
No,
F flat is not a real key. No.
Yeah,
no,
right. Okay.
no.
That's just making sure. It's a theoretical key.
Yeah.
Theoretical.
There's
Yeah.
a book called "Songs in the Key of Z," I think. About like nonsense skills. But maybe I'm not thinking of it right. Yeah, keys are weird. Or Stevie Wonder, "Songs in the Key of Life."
Keys
Um,
are weird. I think tempo changes are weird. Like I would love to have some programmatic tempo changes in things.
Yeah.
Not quite there yet
yeah,
on the HAPAC software, but I know they're coming.
I did quite a bit
Um,
of tempo changing on my last show. Oh well, I guess that was kind of recent. I played Attack Release in January, um, and I changed the tempo a lot actually. I think I started like medium, I went fast, and I took it really really slow at the end, which is kind of a fun way to do it. I think.
I will say for tempo changes, like an analog clock or yeah, an analog clock is usually the smoothest way I've done it.
Yeah,
Clocking things with that, it just feels more organic than like an
it
encoder
kind of is.
because you have a good feeling for like how fast to turn it and stuff like that. But
Encoder just
um, encoder, I just am like sort of guessing and looking at a number on the screen, and it's all right. It does the job.
Yeah.
Um,
You've got to be careful as well, to, depending on how things receive clock, because some things advance on like rising edge, some things try and average out the previous 8 beats or whatever. So if you
yeah,
slow
yes,
it down, those things just go, I don't know what to
it'll
do.
all pull out
And
of
then
time. Yeah,
they
yeah,
all,
yeah.
go out of like, they have to do a reset really to get everything to tie back in.
That's why I think
yeah.
everything should work on like a ping system rather than like a kind of like advance on clock system.
Yeah.
Um, like I really really like how the dual looping delay the 4MS does it, where you can send a clock in, but if you take the clock out, it'll still keep going at that rate. So if you stop your clock that's going into it, it'll keep your effect won't immediately stop.
Yeah, that's what the data bender does. I think for effects that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And for I think the only other two modules I that are in my case right now that use clock are the voltage block and uh, the dot, and both of those are just advanced on triggers, so they can accept weird clocks, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
But the nice thing is you can use the other nice thing I like about the DLD is that it has an in and an out, so you can like use it as kind of a sync to thing, and then you could pull its clock out and send that elsewhere. So I don't know.
yeah.
I like pingy clocks.
Oh, we tried a droid patch with like slewed clock.
Oh yeah.
So you would like have it exponentially slow down, almost like turning off a record player,
Oh
and then it
nice,
would
like a little.
snap back to where it was. So it would like then immediately back up to the full rate, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um, I
That's
think
some
there's
yeah.
space for a module that does that somewhere. I think.
I mean, that's the thing that's got me the most excited. Like that was something I was requesting when I first got the Hapax, and I think that will be possible. There's going to be a clock MIDI effect, I think, or something like that,
Mhm.
so I can automate it. But what I'm really interested in is pretty much what you said, where I want to change the speed of the clock in a pattern, right? Like so they can
Yeah.
repeat that speed change. Like there's some cool tracks that sort of have that feel to it. Like I think Aphex Twins Collapse track has a nice like there's something funky happening with the clock where it like speeds up towards the end of the pattern and it like slows down again. It's like pretty
Or even
cool.
like kind of like bouncing, like the bouncing kind of ball effect, where it's like. Ding, ding, ding,
Right,
ding.
and
Yeah,
that's the sort of feel you get from it. Yeah, depending on
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
which way the slew is, I guess, or which way it's
Mm-hmm,
going.
mm-hmm. I think Aphex is a whole
Yeah.
bouncing ball. There's like one song that's just the bouncing ball patch, just getting weird with it.
Yeah, that's something I'm really looking forward to in my sequencer.
Actually, speaking of weird new modules and bouncing balls, Ladic recently put out a module that is just it has a tiny little screen and it's 4 HP and all it does is the bouncing ball. That's all it does. It's just like doop, 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 and you can set like gravity and weight and all that stuff and it's so cool.
I think the screen is really cool way to do it. Like I have the Cosmo version of something like that,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like it's not the same because you have to like mentally visualize it, and it doesn't always make
having
sense.
something where you can see it like go doop,
Yeah,
doop, 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 like it's like ah, it works.
yeah, pretty cool.
They also used
Um,
absolutely the tiniest screen I've ever seen in my life, which is the only reason I want it because I've become obsessed with small OLEDs. It's my life now.
the bouncer. Oh my god, it is so
Bouncer.
tiny.
Yeah, it's just the smallest little screen in the world. I don't even know if that's readable at all. It's like the size of a jack.
I mean, like how much do you need to read on it, right? Like I
Yeah, it's like
assume most of it's just to see like something move a few pixels up and down
yeah. I mean, it's probably
or
fine.
across the
It's probably
screen or
fine.
something. Anyway,
It's
that's a cool use of a screen that I think is worth it.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Screens are. I kind of turned around on screens. I really was quite opposed to them, and then I bought a module with a screen, and now I just want all modules with screens.
I like crappy screens the best. To
Yeah,
clarify, instead of like an OLED screen or like anything like that, I like the Rample screen, which is just like
yeah, just
an LED matrix, right? But like the big chunky LEDs, right? Or like the braids screen is those are the kind of screens I love.
Stolper Beats has a good
Yes.
screen. I love the
Yeah.
Stolper Beats interface. Apparently, I
Yeah.
just found out the construction of it is actually they have two PCBs and there's a separate PCB that's just pressed all the way up against the panel and that has all the lights on it. And that's how they
Yes.
get all the kind of
Mm.
sharp,
Cool.
little dots close to it.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
cool, yeah. That was the second most tempting module I saw when I was at Signal Sounds.
Yes. Yeah, I guess this is
Yeah.
weird. This is I wonder if this is the first what the heck where everyone has met in person before.
Yeah.
Oddly.
No, because they've
No.
done the
In LA.
The
what's
DEF
it
CON
called?
one.
DevCon one. Yeah.
Right, we did. There was the DEF CON one.
Yes.
Second one. Right, number two.
I mean, I have met a fair amount of the folks in the chat. Whoa.
Someone's glitching out.
Kyle, I'm gonna have to sample this afterwards because some of the
Well,
sounds that are
okay.
coming from you are like
That's so weird.
fucking
Oh, shit.
phenomenal. That was like a cool
It's
sound.
like a D&D like time stretch.
Yeah.
From
I mean,
Time
your
Stretch.
audio is still fine. It was just like a
Right?
temporary.
Yeah, it was a little flare.
I have no idea. I mean, I'm
Release.
using just like a decent interface and a decent mic, so I don't know.
It could be. I wonder if it's me. I don't know. My tiny OLED obsession in Isaac the Great.
Yeah.
Reading through the chat. Oh,
Yeah, I don't know who it is, but
I
I apologize.
Sorry.
Yeah, weird. Sorry.
Anyway, I was furiously plugging in modules before this. Like I ripped my Eurorack case off the wall and installed 2 Legion and a Subway. Subway went right into the spot it was supposed to. Perfect. The Legion, I needed like half a millimeter more. So I literally had to scooch the whole row over
Oh, that's so annoying.
just to get them in.
Sliding nuts. At least you didn't weren't putting them in and then realize that you had run out of sliding nuts in that spot, which is something I've been encountering with my mono rocket case because I realized it definitely does not have enough sliding nuts in it.
No, I stocked mine pretty full. It's got to be like 50 per rail or something, maybe even 100. I don't remember, but I always like anytime I'm putting in something that's like 8 HP, I make sure there's a few
Kind of
there. Like I
limit.
spread them all out, so if I replace modules, there's plenty to get to. But there are like I want to say 3 of the sliding nuts, for whatever reason, are not threaded,
Oh no.
Yeah.
and I find them.
Yeah. Well, you can't get them out now, right? They're in
No, no, it's
forever.
they're there forever. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
that's the
not
problem.
worth taking it apart.
I
Yeah.
had to do like kind of a light disassembly of my really nice water rocket case, which I don't feel great about doing. Just to load it with more nuts, and granted, I could find the right size because that's all 2.5 millimeter because
That's what I'm
they're vector
rocking.
rails. Fuck vector rails. All my homies hate vector rails.
I love my rails. They're great. Have
No,
you tried Cosmo rails? They're wooden, and it's way worse.
I would rather wouldn't. The vector rails, it's like if you put a module in and your case is at all vertical or at an angle, they just slide down. So you can't like put them in there and then screw them in. You have to like kind of hold up it and then awkwardly. It's so annoying. The lipped one, like it's not even okay. It's not that bad. But the fact I tend to greatly over exaggerate these things. But the fact that lipped rails just work fine kind of makes it so that like why.
Well, you got to understand that that case over there is more warped than it looks. So having lipped rails would mean my measurements would have to be somehow more precise. They're actually pretty good, but without the lip, I can get away with a little bit of fudge.
Little bit of jank. Yeah, that's fair too. I guess, and you can fit more in like a very slightly smaller space because they're not quite as vertically demanding, I guess. But
Now let me talk about wooden rails for a second here. First of all, if you're going to use wooden rails, you want to use a softwood like a pine, something that ideally won't split when you put 2 screws in it. Because remember, all the screws are essentially going in the same like grain, right? And you have an option to either drill holes, right, each time you put a module in, which you're going to get like sawdust on your shit. So that's non-starter for me. Or you do my version, which is like I might even punch a hole if I want to be precise, like like my hole punch just to get it started, and then hand screw it in, thinking, oh, is this the one? Is this the one that's going to split my entire rail?
stressful.
Yeah.
You have an automatic center punch. It's my favorite tool in the whole world.
Yeah, I got one for like
One where you
$3 from whatever that one site is that I'm totally AliExpress, right? Like one of those sites. And it took like 6 months to get here or something. But again, total was like $3, including shipping. So no complaints. And it sometimes doesn't work. It just randomly decides to not work for a while. You give it a few more punches and it's back to life. I don't know.
Hey, whatever works.
$3. So
$3.
Anyway, back to the Legion. I've only played with them for a total of like 3 minutes and then the intro, right? And I didn't even do much in the intro, but I can say like they're pretty good. Like the swarm sounded good. The all of the outputs, I did a quick test and they sound really good. The tuning wasn't too bad. The way the tuning is set up, you've got an encoder that by default is going to go in semitones.
Yeah.
And then if you push it in, it changes to a different mode, which does a fine tune. But you can also there's some combination thing where I can lock that out completely. So once it's tuned, I never have to fuss with it again if I don't want to, which is pretty.
That is really nice.
Pretty cool.
Can it be like an octave switch, like a?
It has its own dedicated octave switch, but this part of the design I don't love because it's 2 buttons that go between 4 octaves, so I can just go like up, 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 down, 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 kind of a thing. And it's okay, but because I have 2 of them, I'm using the what is that thing called? Like the Quant Gemmy or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, the quant gemming to quickly switch between 3 octaves on multiple oscillators. So um, not too worried about that part of it. It's got some nice features. I was messing with like the linear FM a little bit. It sounds good. Like it's a 30. It sounds like a 3340 or something. I'm not really sure exactly what they're doing, but
It's through zero FM. Maybe it's one of the everyone's been doing. It's this SSI 2130 chip that everyone's been using.
maybe so. I mean, I'm gonna probably pull one out after this and take a close look at the circuit board. But it was definitely so densely packed. I need to get a magnifying glass. Yeah.
If you look at it, it's a tiny little square like QFN 56 package or something insane like that.
Yeah, it's pretty small. And the subway I haven't touched yet. So
is the subway the signal router switch?
it's not a signal router. It's a crossfader that can crossfade between up to 8 signals, and then next to each signal is a mute switch. And I think I'm going to double check this, but I think they redesigned the buttons for the Metron. Which I think just the last batch of Metrons had those new redesigned buttons. But I think the Subway is also using these buttons because they're really nice buttons. They're by far the best little buttons I've used on any of the modules. Pretty solid.
Really clicky?
Yeah.
Nice.
They're clicky. They give good feedback, and they're like solid. They're not like wobbling around like some buttons tend to do. Anyway, that one looks pretty cool. I'll probably am going to use it for like the most basic 2-channel crossfading kind of shit, but
you can put a bunch of different oscillators in there and just get like a weird.
Yeah, that's another option where you can probably even use your envelope to like cycle through those real quick.
Weird sequencer is just tune all your oscillators to different notes and then use that to address them instead of anything else.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's definitely like one of the cooler modules I want to try out. So I'll be trying a lot of that stuff. Yep.
Yeah.
Excited. Like, there's not much else to say because like I don't even know if they have any more for sale or not. But like,
yeah, you don't want to like
it's a cool
module.
module.
Like module and no one can get.
I think they are going. There's some going out to shops. I think.
Oh, okay.
I think. 8 in 1 out.
Oh yeah, Subway. Oh, it's a little bigger than I thought. I thought it was a 4 HP thing.
It's 6 HP, I think, partially because the buttons behind the scenes are actually like kind of chonky.
If they have a little square thing, then I think I know what button it is. I think
actually, let me go pull one out. You keep talking among yourselves.
So it smoothly fades from one signal to the next.
That's good. So it's not just like a clicky like.
Yeah, that's
kind of router thing.
interesting.
I think I have lying around somewhere in here. I do have a because when I was buying buttons to kind of demo for this new fluorite module I've been working on, I ended up buying. Oh, I know where it is. Hold on. I know.
So I don't know how I'll be able to see this.
Bard's Quartet. Okay.
But so these are the buttons. I don't even know if you can hear that.
Have
but let's see. Yeah,
let's
this
see
is the side of them.
Is it?
They're sort of like this square, clear things.
Oh, I think
like
that's a 3D printed bracket to hold them in.
It's not 3D printed, but it is a bracket. I think that's probably why they're so solid. Yeah.
But then there's also because I think do they have a little square thing at the top? Because this is the button I have that looks pretty similar in size and it's very.
No, these don't. These yeah.
They light up, yeah.
No, this is very different shape than that. You won't be able to see it through here, but it's very different. Here, this is the best I can do. Try to hold it still.
Yeah. Huh.
And the click is quieter. Like it's a tactile. It's not a not a clicky mechanical key.
I have a question. So, if you were to put 2 sequences into that thing, and then you crossfade between them, what do you get if you're in the middle?
If you're
Well,
in the
that's a
middle,
good
you would
Like,
question.
get
is that
like I,
what, what mathematically, what does that give you out? You know, or
right.
Well,
do we
Let's
I
not
say
guess
not
that
know?
if you think about if you think about what crossfading does, right? Is crossfading brings up the level of one thing, and then it changes the levels to go between them, right? Like it's like a
Yeah,
panning. So
yeah,
if you have like a voltage level and you have like a high and low note, I assume the like the it would put out the sum, right? So
yeah. So
it would
it's
put out the
halving them
sum.
and adding them.
Yeah, I
that
think
would be the
averaging
logical
is
thing, but
probably
that's not
Yeah,
always what happens with
yeah.
that's
mixers.
true. That's true. It
So
might not happen like that.
you might just need to check it and just put it through a scope and see what comes out.
Yeah, I have to
Yeah,
just test that because sometimes
that'd
with
be a
audio mixers like this, like the halfway is actually like they've done something to lower it beyond like 50% so that you don't like get
you know
something that's
clip.
too hot, I guess, which drives me crazy. Like the halfway point on the God Eater, its crossfader is like too quiet for either side. So, but luckily it has a dry out and a wet out that I can do my own thing with. So,
It would be a fun experiment to also like take like I'm really interested in like sequencers that are based kind of on adding like Crazy Chicken if you know they're a Ukrainian brand. They just put out this sequencer called Six Eyes. That's really interesting because it's 32 notes, but it only has six knobs, and it works by kind of like adding sort of clock divisions. It's like a clock divider and a Turing machine sort of put together. But so you could do like the thing where you have like two sequences that are completely different out of different sequencers, and then crossfade between them, and then like put that into a quantizer so it sounds okay.
Hmm.
I don't know, weird stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess if you're quantizing afterwards, it doesn't really matter because it gets rounded up or down anyway.
Exactly. The glory of quantizers.
I mean, my best guess is that, well, we'll see. Like, we'll have to test it. Like, if it's optimized for audio, there might be a little bit more of a dip halfway through. But if there isn't that, which I would prefer, there's probably just a little bit of clipping if your voltage is too hot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, crossfaders. I don't think I have anything that properly is for crossfading other than I guess warps, which is like if you use warps as a crossfader, you're kind
Mm.
of missing the point. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't used like proper crossfading modules. Typically, what the crossfading things I'm using are effects where you're going from like dry to wet. So, like the data bender, like crossfading in, and the data benders is spot on. I was one of the things that I didn't care for on the morphogene is that halfway between the wet and the dry mix, it's
Yeah.
like just low, it's just really low
Just you
volume
don't hear much.
compared to.
That happens to on beads a little bit. I think where it's like it's not. It doesn't. I've heard terms people say like equal power kind of panning or whatever, and
Yeah,
I
I
don't really
don't.
know what all
Yeah,
that means, but I think that might be to kind of mitigate that idea.
yeah.
Um,
Either way, I'm very stoked about this. I again probably am going to use it for the lamest possible thing of like the output of two filters and fade between them
Yeah, yeah.
manually.
You could do like drum trigger mixing fill
yeah.
stuff. Be kind of neat with that.
Yeah,
Um,
and I also think like using it at audio rate could be pretty fun.
mhm.
So like take
Yeah.
the sub out of one of the Legion, which you can set which waveform you like on the sub oscillator. So maybe like you want a triangle wave or something, and run that through a bunch of the different variations of a oscillator. That could be pretty fun. That kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, I wonder if you had a clock divider. I've got this A1
I do.
60 that's dubbed for a clock divider that has a ton of outputs. You just connect one output to each thing and then run the clock divider at an audio rate and then just see what
Yeah.
happens when you go bzz, 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 like weird digital ARP things. Um, could get funky.
You would hear step, like it depends on the speed, but I feel like you would hear some stepping. I don't know.
I
Maybe
think that's the
it'd be
idea.
cool.
That's the appeal. um,
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And Yeah. I mean, you can use it for things like a sequential switch kind of stuff, but I don't know.
Yeah.
That's,
I
I think,
really
the less interesting route.
I feel like I should get a sequential switch. It's one of those core functionality things I feel like I don't really have, but I also don't do a ton of in rack sequencing, so might
I
have
can't talk about that.
to.
I have like the voltage block and the dot, and I use them very like minimally. Um,
I have a Renee, which I've just plugged back in, but again, I kind of have been defaulting to Keystep. I've sort of been sick of Keystep. I've like after I leaned so hard into practicing for this set recently, I'm just like I'm sick of drums. I'm sick of techno. I'm sick of playing
Mhm.
notes. I just want it to like space out ambient all the time. You know.
sometimes you just want to do weird stuff. I am
Right.
thinking about keeping my Metron's been on my sell list for a while, but I am thinking about keeping the Metron and the Volterra for like a smaller case where I could just do some
Yeah.
weirder stuff.
It'd be nice to. It'd be nice. I think having small form factor cases. I do think it would be a really good idea for March to be Minimarch, just for minimal setup. Like you have to just use like one synth or one tiny
One
rack or
module.
something. One module. I could do a beads only stream. I have done beads only streams. or
I think
there
one
was a
module's quite achievable now.
yeah.
Yeah,
It is. A lot of stuff does a lot of things. I mean, if you don't count like audio output and like control into it, like if you're just like one audio source, you can totally do loads of cool stuff. You know, like
What do you mean control into it?
like like you could use an
sequencer.
external like sequencer or
No, 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 no,
keyboard to
no,
play
no,
it. No,
no,
no, no, no.
no.
Okay, yeah,
One
fair.
module,
One
right?
module only.
One module,
Yeah,
and you can have an output module. Sure.
you get an output. Yeah,
Yeah,
Anything you need to actually make it streamable, but no, one
like
yeah.
module.
maybe a clock. No clock.
No,
No
because the
clock
point is you
input.
then have to use your hands to play the thing,
Yeah, that's
right?
fair.
Yeah.
You're like writing feedback
Yeah.
or whatever.
There was a guy on YouTube. It was a while ago. I remember probably years now. Who was doing kind of a series of 3 module challenges where he would do
Well, that's a big
things.
thing.
Yeah, where it
Three
was just
module.
like only 3 modules, which I think is a little more reasonable, just because you can kind of you're still pushing stuff to its absolute limit, but you have a little more flexibility in that. Like you could have something that's like a sequencer. 3 small
Yeah.
modules.
Yeah, so that's the thing, right? So
Moving
like,
goalposts.
like, like 5 years ago, 3 modules sure was like would made sense, but now they've got stuff that's so powerful.
I mean, like
Actually,
Pamela's the new
like
Pamela's
the
new
new
workout is
Pamela's,
fucking
you can
insane.
use on
It
its
does
own.
everything.
Yeah,
Worstein got me with this. She's like, they're like, hope everybody likes foghorns because like if
yeah,
you're
right.
doing like
Right,
that's the easy one module sound, right?
yeah,
Like,
I'm not saying
wah.
you're gonna get music out, right? It doesn't have to be
Drone.
music; it just has to be sounds.
Like you can like there are modules you can do without. Like the Error Instruments Spanky probably is like a one module that you can use
Yeah.
one module. Or like the cat, just hit the
Yeah.
button and rotate the knobs.
Like the SMR, I could do it. I could do a whole just
SMR,
SMR. SMR is
yeah, for
very,
sure.
very much one module solution. SMR beads. You could do like if you had some of those little all flesh things. You could do QPOS, like a pingy filter. If you had to like kind of hit it yourself.
Yeah, okay, you can do that.
If you had
Like,
some of those, I need to get some of those.
I do have to go very shortly, so after this, I'm
Yes.
gonna
Okay.
have to bail.
cool.
It's all good.
It's also
all
it's
good.
it's half one here, so
It is
yeah.
half one. I am starting to fade.
I appreciate y'all staying on.
Glasgow crew, staying up late. I don't have to wake
I'll
up.
buy you a beer next time I'm in town. I'll buy you a bunch of beers next time I'm in town.
Wait.
Let's go.
Cool. Is there like a final
Yeah.
topic or something?
What is your least favorite module? What's the worst thing you put your
I
hands on?
don't think I'm allowed to say.
I don't know. The only other interesting news is that the Pittsburgh Taiga looks really cool, and I
Oh yeah,
kind of want one, but I do not need one at all.
is that out yet? I
I
don't
think
actually know
it's
if it's
up for
arrived.
pre-orders. Some people, there's demo units out, but up for pre-orders. I don't know.
I don't
If
know
there's
what my
one in
least favorite
Chicago, I'm
module
coming.
is. Like I like all of my modules, but some of them don't like me. Like one behind me electrocuted me pretty good
Oh
on the
no.
stream. So that I'm its least favorite person probably. So there you go.
This Zlob VCA is very noisy and has a lot of bleed, and I wish it didn't. And yeah, it's a little naughty. But it was also like $35 built, or not built, $35 kit. So like,
That's not bad.
That's
Like
pretty
I
good.
think
I
my
know.
least favorite thing, like period, with modular is a VCA that doesn't go all the way to
Yeah.
silence.
Just like something that doesn't work right, you know? Like most things are actually designed quite cool if they're working, but when something doesn't work, it's the most frustrating thing in the fucking world,
Mm.
you know?
Go to silence. Like the performance mixer, like the VCAs in there all go like to hard silence. There will be no sound coming out if you use them. But like if
Yeah.
I'm doing a stereo mod, like the Icury is the one that kills me because it doesn't go full
Uh,
silent. So I can
Oh
always
really?
hear like a little bit of like a little bit like only if you crank like the speakers way up. It's so low that you won't notice it, but
Mm.
but
um
it's there. It's there in the corner of
it's
your mind.
there.
Maybe
Yeah, I've
that's
heard
to do
people
with
have.
being a mixer, like a mixer module rather than being a VCA. I
Yeah,
don't know because
maybe.
mixers go to like minus infinite dB, whatever that means.
Yeah. And I think that's how they
Zero.
And
did it, probably.
yeah,
I mean, it's a fantastic module, one of my favorites by far, but that one little
Baffle.
thing would save
Oh,
me, yeah, a little bit.
last thing, I really, really want to mess with the Aikido. The Aikido looks really cool, and I really
Holy
want to give it a
crap.
try.
That is the most tempting module that I've seen this year. None of the other
I,
modules have tempted me as
but
much as that one.
it looks perfect for like a really. I've been looking for a good performance mixer, and it's in a really, really tiny form factor, and it's got like spectral compression nonsense on it, and
I mean, a
just
couple
looks
of
fucking
those in a
fun.
buddy.
You're
All right,
good.
I
You're
gotta go.
solid. You're done. But yes, all right. Awesome.
cool.
Well,
Do the thing.
Yeah,
do
thanks
the
for
thing.
joining.
Do the
I don't
thing.
have time for an outro. I really gotta run.
Yeah, it's all good.
It's our
Outro.
Valentine's Day. Anyway, have a good night, good morning, all that good stuff. I appreciate everybody. And
Yes. All
Forrestine,
right.
you crushed me with that. Fuck, I was like dying.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.